You guys voted and the winner is Cardamom. Today's video we're going to be talking about my top 10 favorite fragrances with the note of cardamom. We're going to have fragrances in the high, some fragrances in the low, but one thing is for sure, all fragrances on this list are going to share that intoxicating aroma that cardamom has to offer. So without any further ado, let's do it. What is up, Frag fam? Max Forte back with another video. Today, as you saw from the title and the beginning of this video, we're going to be talking about my top 10 fragrances with a prominent note of cardamom. So before we get onto the list, let me tell you guys a little bit of the profile, the scent character of cardamom. Cardamom happens to be a fruity, aromatic, spicy sort of a, aroma, very used in the Middle East in the culinary and also to aromatize their coffee. If you were to pick up a few seeds of cardamom and you actually squeeze them on your fingers and you smelt it or you're bit into it, you're going to get this very spicy, almost nutty eucalyptus kind of a feel to the scent, which is very aromatic and extremely pleasant. Cardamom happens to be one of the world's most ancient spices, and it's also one of the most expensive next to saffron and vanilla. The top 10 list right now is in no particular order. Without any further ado, let's jump right into it with the first comment here. It's from the house of Parfums Marley, of course, a great aromatic, very pleasant, mass appealing, delicious fragrance. Of course, we're talking about Layton from the house of Parfums Marley, one of my favorites. Definitely in my top 3 favorite Parfums Marley at this time. I absolutely love this fragrance. You can dress this up, dress this down. It's very classy, very elegant, and extremely aromatic. The cardamom here is very bold, but it's also extremely aromatic and pleasant. It's done in a very, very special way. It's blended to perfection. Again, one of my favorites, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is one of the top sellers from Parfums Marley right now. So if you haven't checked this out, if you want a great niche fragrance that's pleasant, it's gonna get you smelling sophisticated, elegant, no matter how you dressed, this is definitely one that you want to check out. To me, one of the best niche, mass appealing scents out there. From the house of Parfums Marley, this was Layton. The second choice here is going to be one of the most talked about fragrances in the fragrance community. Of course, you guys know this fragrance. You've heard about it so many times. So many reviewers rave about this fragrance, and rightfully so. It is a great fragrance. It smells fantastic. It's a compliment-inducing fragrance. My wife loves this fragrance on me, and I've worn this fragrance almost a decade. It was released in 2009, and it's a favorite of mine, La Nuit de l'Homme from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. You cannot dismiss this fragrance. It smells just amazing. It's a little bit powdery, but the cardamom here is big. It's really in your face. It's going to follow the fragrance throughout the life of the fragrance. And the fragrance has this creamy, buttery feel that's almost, cocoa-like, and it is a little bit powdery, but it's a very, very delectable fragrance, one that women tend to gravitate towards. Never fails to amaze me of how much compliments I get with this fragrance. Guys, check this out if you haven't, which I'm sure you have. Yves Saint Laurent. This is La Nuit de l'Homme, of course. A lot of people complain about Dolce & Gabbana The One, of its performance, especially with the EDT. The EDP, it's a little bit better with the Eau de Parfum. However, none of those two beat this one right here. To me, the best Dolce & Gabbana The One ever made. This is deep, dark, and mysterious. Of course, I am talking about the Dubai exclusive Royal Night. What an amazing fragrance. You want a dark, you want a deep, very resinous cardamom, you're gonna get that right here. If you want a really bold and in-your-face cardamom note that's really strong and out there, this is definitely the best one on the list if you want a dark cardamom note. Royal Night's a great scent. This is, again, exclusive to Dubai. Not as easy to find here in America. If you wanted that Dolce & Gabbana The One at DNA, that scent profile, but you wanted something bolder, darker, and extremely long-lasting with that beautiful, in-your-face cardamom, definitely check Royal Night from Dolce & Gabbana. You're going to love it. This next choice here, right now, this is a under-the-radar alert for you guys. If you're looking for a fragrance that resembles La Nuit de l'Homme, but it's a little bit sweeter, and it has a fantastic note of leather. This particular fragrance is borderline gourmand, but it's not quite a gourmand. It's really a leather and cardamom bomb. Of course, I'm talking about this under-the-radar gem, Armani Eau de Cédre. This is a cedar-based scent with a fantastic note of cardamom up top, laced with leather. Oh my goodness, this is an amazing scent, guys. I don't know why no one's talking about this fragrance. You can find this discounted, but it smells fantastic. I love this fragrance. I tend to wear it more dressier occasions for the evening time. It's just a great scent. Think of romantic settings, dining out. Think of when you really want to make a great first impression, or you're really trying to leave that lingering first impression, guys. Go with Giorgio Armani Eau de Cédre. You are not going to regret. This next choice here is perhaps the boldest of all fragrances here. Of course, Royal Night's up there too, but this one here is not for the faint of heart. This fragrance has a tremendous note of cardamom, a heavy dose of cardamom, laced up with cinnamon and cloves, patchouli, and a ton of resins, including labdanum. But this is not for the faint of heart. Not everyone's gonna love this. I absolutely love it. I think it's a stunning masterpiece from Dominique Ropion. Of course, I'm talking about Custom National Homme. What a stunning juice. Look at how much I've wore of this fragrance. I absolutely love this fragrance. It works perfectly with my body chemistry. Fall and winter are the perfect times to wear this because it is bold, it is in your face, it's going to project. 2 sprays is more than enough with this fragrance, but if you want a true spicy, heavy cardamom, you are going to love this. Especially if you love, spices like cinnamon, cloves like I do, you're going to love this. A little bit sweet too, but it's definitely a very aromatic and bold cardamom that you're gonna get with this fragrance. Guys, check this one out. This next choice here, I like to call it a sweet gentleman because it has such an elegance and such a sophistication about this fragrance. Released in 2004, I think it was a little bit ahead of its time. It's a timeless piece. I had the pleasure to meet the creative director and owner, Linda Pilkington, which happens to be the creative director and, the nose behind this beautiful fragrance here called Ormonde Man, Jayne. What an amazing fragrance. It's got a ton of notes, but of course the cardamom is going to be very prominent, extremely aromatic and present throughout the life of this scent. And also very exotic, very unique. It has a note of black hemlock, the poisonous plant, which gives the scent a tremendous, unique scent profile and character that I've never smelled before. So guys, check this one out. Long lasting. You're talking about a whole day's worth. 2 to 3 sprays, more than enough. A tremendous scent, a true gentleman of a fragrance right here. Ormonde Man. Check this out. This next one here had almost eluded this list, but I'm glad I remembered how much I love this fragrance. This particular fragrance from the house of Dunhill, they've been doing a good job over the past couple of years, especially with this particular line, the Icon line. This is Dunhill Icon Elite. I love this fragrance. It has tons of, citruses up top. You're gonna get lime here, you're gonna get bitter orange. There's also a gorgeous vetiver note in here that's fruity and extremely pleasant, some herbal nuances, ebony wood, and of course a great dose of cardamom here. This fragrance is so universally appealing. It's a great scent for work. If you're dressed up, if you're dressed, to impress, or you have a meeting, or those particular situations that you really want to evoke a very professional, elegant vibe about yourself. This is definitely one that I would suggest. I do like the original Icon for the office, but if I want to go a little bit heavier, a little bit darker, I definitely go with Elite. But there's nothing really that's brash or bold about this fragrance. It's quite the contrary. It's an extremely pleasant cardamom scent that you guys definitely should check out. And the great thing about this one, it's a very discounted fragrance, something that you can find for a very affordable price. And what you're gonna get here as far as the performance and the smell itself, it's second to none. Definitely check this one out. So Dunhill Icon Elite was probably the most affordable price per mil as far as the whole proposition is concerned, but this next one here is going to be quite the contrary, the other end of the spectrum. This is perhaps the more expensive proposition here, the more expensive end of the spectrum. A great scent nevertheless from the house of Tom Ford Private Blend, of course, Tom Ford Oud Wood. Now Oud Wood is a fantastic scent. It's extremely aromatic, very pleasant. The blend here is just fantastic. It's a timeless scent. Definitely sits in the top 10 favorite Tom Ford private blends of all time, in my humble opinion. A ton of woods with this fragrance, with, of course, that pinch of oud here that's not in your face, not medicinal, not harsh, not hard to wear at all. It's actually a very pleasant oud fragrance. I absolutely love the blend. It's one of those really captivating blends. They also added the sandalwood note here, which makes this creamy and extremely inviting. There's also a pinch of black pepper on top of oud wood, just to add that right amount of spiciness to make things interesting. Oud wood, one of my favorite private blends of all time. And of course, the note of cardamom is also very present here and extremely pleasant. Check this one out. One of my favorite private blends, of course, you guys, don't sleep on it. The second to last choice here is going to be definitely the more mature fragrance here on this list. But if you appreciate a timeless scent, this is a leather chypre with a ton of woods and of course a spicy cardamom at the heart. A great fragrance, a timeless scent, like I said. This is Bel Ami from the house of Hermes I absolutely love this fragrance, whether you have the older rendition or this last here, the one that's the current formulation. It smells absolutely fantastic. If you appreciate a spicy leather that has a gorgeous spicy cardamom, Hermes Bel Ami has such a classy, attractive, masculine scent profile that actually inspired great fragrances like Pure Distance Am, as well as Roja Dove's Fetish. That's how good this fragrance is. Don't think this is too mature or very old smelling. I'm telling you, this is a classic, timeless scent that if you haven't yet checked out, I urge you to try it. You're not going to disappoint. Now, the last choice here comes from the nose of Maurice Roussel. If you guys are not familiar with Maurice Roussel's work, he does tremendous when it comes to lavender scents, and this one here is no different. I am talking about a fragrance that really flies under the radar. No one's really talking about this fragrance in the fragrance community. I urge you to try this. This is Hypnose from Lancome, Hypnose Homme. This introduces the barbershop feel in a modernized way, opens up. The introduction here has that creamy lavender that's laced up with sandalwood and a ton of great spices, including, of course, cardamom, to give this scent such an appeal. This is masterfully blended. It just smells amazing. It's one of the best smelling cardamom fragrances I've ever tried. That's why, leave the best for last. You bet you can. I love this fragrance to death. Guys, if you haven't checked this out, I urge you to try it. When I smell this, it kind of resembles Viktor and Rolf's Antidote, but of course it's a bit spicier. It has that really prominent note of cardamom here that just makes this fragrance such an elegant, sophisticated scent. It's almost like you took a classic lavender barbershop feel scent and you mashed it up with Viktor and Rolf's Antidote. That's what you get with Hypnose. An amazing scent, to me, a great one that no one's really talking about. A masterpiece from perfumer Maurice Roussel. Hypnose Homme, you know, the name is very fitting to this fragrance. Once you try this fragrance, you're going to embark on this great olfactive journey, and a very hypnotic journey, if you will. Check this out. So those are my top 10 choices for the note of cardamom. If you guys want to try any of the fragrances mentioned in this video, there's a very simple way to get DECANTS, and of course it's a place that I've talked to you guys about many times on this channel, as well as the Emporium Scent Facebook group, which I'll have it down in the link below. I urge you to go check out myfragrancesamples.com, which is a website that I talked to you guys about before. The owner is Mark Mobley, which is a fragrance collector and aficionado just like ourselves. He puts all of his collection at his website, myfragrancesamples.com, for us to check out. So what I like about him is if you want to try something out that's brand new, if you want to try a fragrance you're not too sure you're going to like it, if it's going to work with your body chemistry, you can pick up a decant. Right now he has a code which is MAX15, which will grant you 15% off at checkout on the great selection of designer and niche fragrances he has to offer. And the good thing is his prices are extremely competitive, great, speedy, fast shipping, so you're gonna get that stuff right away. He ships very fast. Don't miss out. I'm gonna have all the information down the link below, guys. Go check it out. So what did I miss, ladies and gentlemen? Please let me know in the comment section below what are your top favorite cardamom fragrances that I didn't talk about that I should check out. Please, I'd love to read your comments and start a little cardamom conversation. In the meantime, as always, stay fragrant. Keep on spraying, but remember, it's not just what you spray, but it's also how you play. I'll catch you guys in the next one.